Good morning and welcome to the Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on Facebook. I'm your host, Ed Nunez, along with our producer, Alden Iowani. Our special guest today, Cleveland High School girls softball coach, Angel Castillo. And coach, the Storm ranked number one in there's not a lot of max prep polls, but according to a lot of polls that I've heard and seen, the Storm ranked number one, and your team has a 14-2 record so far, coming off a big win on Friday night against your arch rival, Rio Rancho. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Coach, I want to ask you again, last year, it had to be tough not being able to play. The season was canceled because of the coronavirus pandemic. I wanted to ask you, you had a pretty good team the year before. You mentioned that. You've got a good lineup up and down the lineup. I mentioned that: speed, power, pitching. We'll get to Aaliyah Alarcon and her amazing pitching here in a minute. But how did it feel last year not being able to, and you would have had probably a solid team, made a run last year too, right? We can never tell because sometimes injuries and things take over. But talk about last year and the last year.
Well, so, we returned everybody, that we didn't graduate one senior the year before. So last year we had everybody coming back. So we were excited. We had another couple girls. One girl went out to the military, and the other one went and played she went and played in Hawaii. She got a scholarship out there. And, so we felt like whoever we inserted this year was kind of replica of what we had last year. So we had, those girls had some speed and some power, and it was just, I couldn't even explain it because the girls were just so, heartbroken. What we do with our program and the amount of time we put together, in the off season, and it was just devastating for them because they really felt that they had a shot to play on that last Saturday of the year, and for it to get cut short, man, it was pretty devastating for the whole program, but especially for those seniors that we had some great, they were just great kids. So, it was sad.
No, that's the hard part because sometimes in the game, injuries and other things occur that we understand, right? But something like that, it had to have been hard because the girls, when you mention seniors, you've got about 4 seniors on your roster, maybe 5. I got to count them all up, and they're getting a chance for that last hurrah. And normally, Coach, softball this time of year is over with, right? So we're playing deep into May, and these seniors have already graduated. I mentioned this to you the other day. It's got to be kind of strange that usually when you graduate, and a lot of times you leave that school in the wind, right? You're like, hey, man, I'm done, right?
Yeah.
Still coming back after they put on the cap and gown and still putting on the uniform of the Storm. And that's got to mean something to them, too, in getting this year's seniors a chance to finish.
Yeah, and last year's seniors still, they still, keep in touch with these guys. And, I think they want to do it for them and, just finish out strong for them. And, there's just such the camaraderie of the program, from top to bottom. It's pretty amazing. Like I said, the amount of time that we spend together in the off season and just the young, we've got a pretty good formula here with, year in and year out, just kind of trying to replace what we lost. And the younger girls kind of look up to the older girls and try to match their, their intensity and just the, the advice. And they really, it's a great program. And I'm excited for them. And it's just hard to, it's hard. It's very different than what most kids, get to experience. So, they're playing for those seniors for sure.
Again, you mentioned you played at Silver, right? You played football or basketball at Silver?
I played football, basketball, and baseball at Silver, yeah.
You mentioned your memory at the pit when you got to play in the pit against Artesia when Bubba Jennings, one of New Mexico's greats, man. You got to play in the pit, and you had that memory as a senior. So for last year's seniors, I had my memories at Highland there many years ago, but I still have them, right? So for seniors that didn't get to play last year, my heart even aches thinking about it because we all look back, right, Coach? We all look back, and the wife makes me, she'll laugh and say, oh, it's glory day talk again, right? Because we all remember that. Even your memory of seeing Coach Bubba Jennings, man, when you told me you were in the pit, I got to play there too. So I got to play against Bubba. I told you the North-South All-Star game. You don't forget stuff like that, right?
No,
you don't forget it.
No, not at all. And funny story about that is when I started coaching out here football, here at Cleveland, Heath Ridenauer, is from Lovington, and when my senior year, we played Lovington in the semifinal game, and we lost to Brian Urlacher and those guys in a 10-7, just a knockdown, drag out game. And when I was coaching out here, it was summer, and we're kind of talking around. Brian Urlacher calls him and he says, "Hey, I got a guy from Silver that was their quarterback, running back, linebacker." And so, the interesting thing is that here's this, NFL great, and he wanted to chat about high school football and remembered, high school football. It was pretty amazing. So yeah, these are the memories that these kids will remember for the rest of their lives for sure.
10-7. What kind of game was that? That must have been 3 yards. You're talking about Brian Urlacher. Somebody got hit. I'm sure you hit some people too, Coach. Somebody got hit somewhere.
It was a fun game for sure. And like you said, those are the memories that we remember forever. And you just want to give the kids those opportunities for sure.
I'll tell you what, Coach, just watching your team, I told you, I got to watch you twice last week, and you won both games. The shutout against Volcano Vista, Leah Alarcon pitched wonderfully, and she's pitched great for you all season long. But like we said, up and down the lineup, and we'll get into some statistics here in a second, just speed, power. You run the bases well. You play defense well. It's very tough, I think, to beat the Storm. You've got a Trisco Heritage today, and Trisco Heritage, I believe, upset Rio Rancho a couple weeks ago. So you got to watch out, right? Every team on the schedule. And Coach, talk a little bit about this, because the season, they jammed it together. We didn't know if it was going to happen. I'll be honest with you, in March, right, I was saying to myself, we're done. We're not. I thought, right? Then all of a sudden, bam, it was here. And thank God, right? Everybody's happy that we're getting to play. Even though it's late in the season, we don't normally this time of year, your cute girls are off playing club ball already, right? You're getting ready. You're taking a break, probably going fishing a little bit, getting ready for the summer. And it's different. But you got a goal in sight, though. You definitely got a goal. Coach, how long have you been at Cleveland High School as a softball coach?
This is my ninth year at Cleveland, and it's kind of an interesting story on how I even got here. But Larry Chavez hired me, and there was not very much stability in the program, so he knew that I'd coached softball in Silver City back when I was first started out coaching. He knew I'd coached softball out there, and he asked if I could come help get the program going. And my oldest daughter was here, so I love to help people. I love tough jobs. I've always taken the tough job and the job that maybe people don't think can be successful. And when I took this job, it was, again, there was not a lot of stability. So when we took it, we went straight to work. And I'm a football coach, so I kind of put together a football program on the diamond. So it's been pretty fun.
What's been the approach to that as far as coaching like that? It's a different approach, right? And some people, and just by the way your mannerisms are, I can tell that you bought it on the field, I'm sure, and you're going to bring that intensity. And some people might wither from that. I always embrace it. I had coaches like that in basketball. But how's that approach worked? I'm gathering pretty well. You've done pretty well there at Cleveland.
It really does. The girls, we take it into the weight room, and our practices are pretty intense. It's like I said, it's a different type of practice than most kids are used to. So when they first get here, it's a little bit different. Like I said, it's intense, and it's just really 100 miles an hour. Again, I'm a basketball guy too, so we always talk about fast break. Our practices are fast break. Let's go. We want to get as much done and as quickly as possible, and utilize our speed as much as we can. So with the intensity and kind of the fast break mentality, it's fun. The kids have fun.
Talk a little bit about how it is different, because some people may not know what you mean by it being different as far as softball. Speed, intensity, and practice. You did that in football, but what do you mean by it being different on the diamond as far as coaching girls softball? What do you mean? So
what we do, for when we break up our teams, I don't send our JV to one field and our C team to another. We all the coaches, I coach them all together, and we have a lot of live scrimmage sessions, and we put them in tough situations, and we put them in huge pressure situations, in these scrimmage type settings. And it's go. So we don't really practice. A lot of people like to practice long hours. We don't. We say if we can't get it done in 2.5 hours, then we're probably not going to get it done. we got to wait till the next day. So, it's really high intensity. We do a lot of fundamentals the first part of practice, and then it's, whatever situations I think we need to work on, and it's at a high intensity. So, girls are running the bases, we're fielding the ball, we're talking. There's a lot. It's like I said, you come out here, you'd think there's 2 or 3 games going on, but it's pretty exciting. Girls have fun for sure.
I love it, man. I love it. Coach, talking a little bit about that, because last year, remember, for a whole year, we didn't get to do that. Now, you did get to practice in pods of 4 or 5, right? But the situational softball you're talking about, running the bases, the communication, hitting the right cutoff. We saw that the other day when they didn't hit the right cutoff. Rio Rancho missed a couple of cutoffs. DeBarge, the shortstop from Rio Rancho, made 2 errors and 2 outs. And I'm not blaming her. She's a great player. Those things happen, right? And the floodgates kind of open for Cleveland. But talk a little bit about the skull part that was lost during that year, because that's hard to simulate in pods of 4. To talk a little bit about what was lost during that year and how'd you get it back because I'll tell you, it didn't seem like you have a program. It didn't seem like you missed a beat with where Cleveland is right now. Right.
Well, our coaches did a phenomenal job of Zoom meetings. We met with these kids all year. The whole time we were off, we met with them and we watched a lot of softball, and we talked with them, and the seniors did a good job of communicating to the young girls who had yet to even practice with us, of explaining how practice works and what we expect, and just all the tradition that we've had at the program. So in the program. So a lot of it was explaining, talking about it. But as soon as that first day we were able to get out there, it was go time. So the young girls were already expecting it, and I think when they saw how we practiced and what the older girls meant, they were like, it was even faster than they expected, but they knew something exciting was coming and something fun was coming. So, it's just a huge, tribute to our coaches and our seniors. They did an awesome job, of keeping the program together and ready to go.
Well, that's a program there, I think, Coach, is what you built there, right? Everybody kind of the seniors taking care of the underclassmen. This next year's seniors will take care of the juniors and on, right? We always want things like that. Sometimes it doesn't always work like that, but that's what you have as far as what you have built at Cleveland. I'll tell you, I'm impressed. Coach, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about this year's lineup and so the players you have in it when we get back after these messages on the Sports Desk.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the 5th.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's that gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Just towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's other way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
1-0's the count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Small ball team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. 1-0 Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles play long ball. Put over with 2 outs here. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on Facebook. I'm your host, Ed Nunez, along with producer Alden Iwani. Our special guest today, Cleveland girls softball coach Angel Castillo. Top-ranked Storm will take on Trisco Heritage this afternoon at 4 p.m. And Coach, 14-2 now, and we mentioned you're going to start the second round of your schedule. It's been a quick-moving season. Today, you've got a Trisco Heritage. How have the girls adjusted to having so many games in a week? And again, remember though, no games at all last year. They've got to be. I used to love putting on the uniform every time we played. I don't care if we played 10 times a day, right? So how have the girls adjusted to having so many games and not the quick turnaround? You've had great success so far in the season, but how have the girls adjusted to having so many games in so short a time?
Well, like I said, in our program, we've got we feel we've got the best weight program and conditioning program in the state. So it's not a big thing for them because we're still lifting weights. We're still, conditioning. We're still doing our, in-season stuff. But, it's for them, adjusting, it's not a big thing. These girls are used to going to, playing year round. They play in tournaments where they could play 4, 5, 6 games in a day. So, they could play 8, 9 games in a weekend. So, they're used to it. And, we just try to, help them maintain and keep them in best shape as we possibly can.
You've been doing an excellent job of that. Again, it's a program though, Coach, and I think we mentioned that, right? The expectations have been set. This is what's expected. It's a program of excellence, and when you have a winning program like that, a lot of people are looking on the fringe as 6th and 7th graders, like, how do I get to be a part of that? Heath Ridenauer does that with Cleveland football, right? Sean Jimenez just won a championship in basketball. If you go to the Storm football games, you see all those young Storm kids with the Storm jerseys on. You got to love it, right? So you're building a program, and you build one. I want to go over Aaliyah Alarcon and just an amazing statistics. 72 innings pitched, has allowed 48 hits, 28 runs, 18 earned runs, 10 bases on balls, 95 strikeouts, and a 1.73 ERA. She pitched twice. I got to see her pitch twice last week. Overpowering performance against Volcano Vista. And remember, Volcano Vista came in with some sticks, man. They did. Yeah. And she shut them down. 2 hits. Talk a little bit about her because we mentioned I said this on the broadcast, precision location, painting the corners. Talk a little bit about her and how dominant she's been with a 9-2 record. She,
there's just so much to say about her, but she really focuses on making sure she hits her spots. And when she came in as a young freshman, that was that's kind of the staple of our program is we got to hit our spots. Sometimes we've got people who are throwing really fast, sometimes we don't, but at the end of the day we hit our spots and our defense knows where the ball's probably going to go. We can help you out, but again, when you have somebody that's as powering as Aaliyah, that she gets to those many strikeouts. So she works her butt off, and there's nothing else to say. She's a dang ball player. She works her butt off. And if she has a bad day, the next day we're out there and she's like, Coach, all right, here's what I thought, or here's what wasn't working. She's back to work, just trying to perfect her craft. And, it's pretty amazing. Some kids, will work on what they need to work on when we tell them it's time to work on it. But if she feels like she didn't have a good day, she's ready to go to work right away. So, it's pretty awesome to watch her, try to perfect her craft for sure.
UTEP bound, signed with UTEP. She'll be playing at UTEP next spring. And I think what it was against Volcano Vista last Tuesday, I saw a smile behind that mask when I interviewed her after the game. I loved it, man. You know, if we're not having fun, why are we out there? She's confident. I wouldn't say she's arrogantly cocky, not at all. But the other day I noticed this too, that when she gave up a run, punching the ball in her mitt, she got mad. You got to love it. You got to love that, because it's like, hey, look, I shouldn't give up any runs, right? Although we're human, she can't have 2-hit shutouts every ball game. But she's amazing, man. And I love that competitiveness. I saw that. She's like, she got upset, you know, and you have to love that competitiveness.
Yeah, you know, that in the pro, we try to compete in everything that we do, and you know, it's pretty awesome. But then sometimes I got to back the girls down because they want to compete in every single thing, and I'm like, all right, this one's just for fun. We're not competing. And even if even if I say that, they're trying to beat each other, and you know, she's trying to win for sure. It's always a competition, but it's awesome to see her, you know, take that into the circle for sure.
She's got a great personality. I enjoyed interviewing her. Yeah. She even smiled after the game, you know, through the mask. And we had a great interview just for a brief time. And you wish success for all kids, right? We're glad they're out there. Doesn't matter, man. That's what it's about. Seeing these kids have fun. Right. And you got, let me see, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seniors. You got 5 seniors on your roster that are being able to play and finish out their senior season, which is important. Couple stats for your team: 475 batting average, 531 on base percentage, 14 home runs, 40 stolen bases, 1.97 ERA, 9.35 fielding average. So it's no wonder, again, why you are where you are, because when the ball's put in play, look at the fielding percentage, right? You run 40 stolen bases, you got power. You know, let's go down the line here and talk a little bit about some of your players. Kayla Beta batting 464. Annalisa Martinez, we mentioned her earlier, 538. Olivia Inclin, 409. Mercedes Lobato, 273. Aviana Fierro, 292. Ashley Archuleta, 600. 458 from Ryan Herman. I mean, 14, Tavia Fragua, she had a good game against Rio Rancho, was our player of the game, 472. Adriana AJ Naranjo, your catcher, 465, who's as tough as any catcher there is. And I don't care if it's girls or boys. She's as tough as any one of them. Eviana Rentirina, 514. Alea Alarcon is batting 533, plus having an 8-2 pitching record. Talk a little bit about that. I mean, up and down the lineup, if you're the opposing coach, what do you say? I mean, how do you plan for that lineup? And, you know, again, you can't give away no secrets. What would you do?
You know, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough lineup. And, you know, I know there's, you know, some of these guys are scouting our games and they're out there all the time and they're getting as much info as you can. But, you know, the good thing is, you know, and that's kind of been one of the mottos is, you know, we know that it can't be the same person, you know, every day. You know, there's going to be some times that I'm not on or I'm not seeing the ball the way I should see it. So, you know, we're expecting the next, you know, kind of the next man up mentality. You know, who's going to be the next guy to, you know, to get in there and get it done. And everybody's going to have a shot. And, you know, everyone's, you know, very crucial to what we do. So, you know, it's just one of those things. And, you know, we preach that, you know, we want to do what we can for our seniors. And we actually have 6 seniors.
6 seniors.
So we got 6 seniors and, you know, we challenge our young kids every day. Hey, what can you do for these guys? What can you do to help send these guys out on again, it's about, you know, it's a team deal. And one of these days you're going to be a senior and you're going to be relying on freshmen. So what are you going to do for these seniors, you know? And again, we just put, you know, we talk a lot and just amazing. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
We got a Cisco Heritage today and they beat Rio Rancho earlier. It's a huge upset. So I don't think there's any team that you can sleep on. And we'll get to a couple other questions, but what will it take for the Storm, you know, finishing up the season? What would it take for them for your team to bring home that blue, man?
You know, I think we just got to continue to improve on some of the little things that we kind of lacked throughout the year. And, you know, we have improved, but we got to get better at some of those things. You know, just stay, we just got to stay focused, cannot lose focus. You know, everybody from here on out's good. From here on out, everybody's going to be good. You know, we tell the kids, you got to expect everyone's best game at the end of the day. So if we're expecting everyone's best game, then we got to do everything we can to put our best out there. And, kind of one of our mottos is we want to better our best always. So even though we might have played a really good game, we want to better that the next time out. So
it's a great message. And you're right. When anytime you suit up, if it's Trisco Heritage, if it's Rio Rancho, Cibola, you've got some excellent teams in your district, some very good teams. But so it's no easy way for you either. It's not. So it's not as if you just walked in or backed in. You've had to play some good softball against some very good teams. So the message has to be that we have to keep getting better. But I think the way you described it, you talk about this real quick. You run your own club team during the summer. You're together and didn't get to do it last summer, but you're together, with what the expectations are almost year round for Cleveland softball. That makes a difference.
Well, like AJ and Aaron Renteria, AJ and Aaron have been with us since their 8th grade year. So they've been in the program quite a while. Aaliyah's been in the program, since her freshman year. She came in and she knows what it's like. Annalicia Martinez, her sister came through the program. So we say she's been in the program for 8 years, even though she's been here for 4. She's been able to see, what we do. And again, it's using these girls as role models for the younger ones has been really key. So, we just try to do the best that we can. And, at the end of the day, if it's going to be, if we're going to do the best that we can, then we're the ones that got to put in the work. So
I'll tell you what, it's going to be tough to beat the Storm. There's no question about it. Like I mentioned, speed, power, pitching's huge, right? You have to have somebody in the circle that can put the ball across the plate and get people out. And you've got fielders. It's going to be very tough to beat the Storm for the rest of the season. But I know, Coach, just in the way you talk, you don't take anything for granted. You're still working.
No, we are, and there were 2 games that Aaliyah wasn't on, and we got this young little freshman pitcher that came in and just did like outstanding. Like it was amazing what she did, to come in relief. And that was Aviana Fierro. She came in and, she's got 2 wins as a freshman pitcher. Yeah. So, a couple of times Aaliyah, wasn't on, and, we relied on Avi, and Avi came in and, she just came in and she goes to work every day. She's a freshman pitcher. She goes to work, and, we tell her, I think Aaliyah does a good job of telling her, look, you might have to come in. At the end of the day, Aaliyah knows she may have to come in, and, she's got all the support in the world from, Aaliyah and everyone else. So when that little freshman pitcher comes in and throws like she did, it says a lot about what the girl in front of her is doing. And Aaliyah's done a good job of mentoring, Avi, and it's been awesome. So, I don't want to leave Avi out, because she's pulled us through 2 games that were tough games, and she got those 2 wins. So, we're real fortunate to have a number 2 that we don't have to use as much, but the times that we've used her, she's come in and done an amazing job.
Done well. Coach Angel Castillo, top-ranked Cleveland Storm girls softball coach. We sure appreciate you being our guest and wish you the best of luck today against Trisco Heritage.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet. For producer Alden Iwani, I'm Ed Nunez. We'll see you next week on the Sports Desk.